Everything slows around you tonight. Time itself seems to hold its breath because heaven has chosen this moment to whisper to you. You may think it's coincidence that you are here reading these words, but it is not. This is divine timing. You have reached the edge of something sacred. For too long, pain has been your silent companion, walking beside you in shadows, every sleepless night, every unanswered prayer. Every time you asked, "Why me?" heaven was listening. The world saw your breakdown, but God saw your becoming. December 12 was not chosen by chance. It has been marked in the calendar of eternity as the day your pain begins to end. You have carried burdens that were never meant to be yours. The weight of rejection, the disappointment of betrayal, the ache of being misunderstood, these were not punishments. They were proofs of your anointing. You are different because you are chosen. There's something about your spirit that refuses to stay buried even when life tries to cover you in ashes. Others could quit and blend in. You cannot, because the call on your life will not let you rest. Listen carefully. Heaven pauses before every major breakthrough. When everything seems silent and still, when the doors seem locked and prayers seem unanswered, that is when the spiritual stage is being set. The stillness is not abandonment, it's alignment. You are standing in that very stillness right now. Every delay, every denial, every moment that felt like God was distant was actually heaven rearranging the pieces for your deliverance. On December 12, the prophetic clock strikes a new rhythm. You will sense it not in noise, but in the deep knowing that your pain has reached its limit. The divine order is shifting in your favor. The tears that once fell without witness are being gathered as evidence for your reward. Heaven has written a decree with your name on it. The season of suffering ends. You may have wondered why everything felt like warfare lately, why doors closed, people left, and peace seemed impossible. It's because the enemy attacks most violently before a crown is released. Darkness recognized your light before you even did. Every storm that tried to drown you was terrified of what you would become if you survived it. And here you are, still standing. You were not supposed to make it this far, but purpose kept pulling you forward. Now, heaven speaks enough. The same God who allowed the trial is now commanding its end. Every hidden wound, every spiritual chain, every whisper that told you you'd never be free, those things are being dismantled even now. You do not need to strive to make it happen. All you need to do is stay aligned, stay listening, stay ready. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." You have been in the night season long, quiet, heavy, but the dawn is near. The pain that tried to define you will soon testify of your endurance. The weeping was real, but so is the joy that's coming. December 12 is your dawn. It is the prophetic morning that follows a night too long endured. As this date approaches, heaven moves. Things shift. People who walked away will no longer have power to wound you. The memories that haunted you will lose their sting. The same way darkness cannot argue with the sunrise. Pain will have no authority once joy appears. This is not motivation, it's manifestation. Take a deep breath. This is your prophetic pause before divine motion. When the door opens, it will not be small. It will not require begging or striving. It will open because heaven commanded it to. Your only task now is to prepare to let go of the heaviness that can't cross into the new season. Do not cling to what's familiar. if it no longer carries God's breath. Do not let fear of the unknown keep you from walking through the door that was designed only for you. Pain has done its job, it woke you up. But it will not follow you past December 12. This is not a random number. This is heaven's timeline intersecting with your obedience. You have prayed for change, now change is coming to find you. And when it does, it will not knock quietly, it will roar like victory. If your spirit feels this word stirring within, do not stay silent. Declare it publicly. Comment 777 below as a prophetic act, as a sign that you are ready to step through the door heaven has prepared for you. And if these words resonate deep within your heart, like and share this message so it reaches every other chosen one who's been waiting for the same breakthrough. Subscribe so you don't miss what heaven will unfold next, for this is only the beginning of what's about to be revealed. Your waiting was not wasted. Your story is about to make sense. Heaven has already marked your day, December 12. The end of your pain. The opening of your door. There are burdens you have carried that were never designed to rest on your shoulders. You've walked through silent seasons, trying to keep your faith alive while questions filled your heart. People saw your calm face but never the war behind your eyes. They didn't see the nights when you stared at the ceiling, wondering if God still remembered you. They didn't feel the ache that grew heavier each time another door closed. But heaven did. The weight you've carried was not a punishment, it was a preparation. Every tear you shed was noticed. Every sigh recorded. There is a kind of pain that refines the soul. A kind of sorrow that builds strength no comfort could ever teach. You didn't realize it then, but your suffering was sculpting something eternal within you. The things that tried to break you were actually molding you into the kind of vessel heaven could trust with divine assignments. You have been through storms that others would not have survived. The betrayal that cut deep. The rejection that felt final. The loneliness that tried to swallow you, all of it was allowed so you could learn the strength of standing when nothing around you agreed with your destiny. You weren't being punished, you were being purified. There are moments when God hides his hand so you can learn to hear his voice. When everything familiar was stripped away, you learned what dependence truly means. You found out that faith is not the absence of fear, but the decision to keep moving even when fear whispers louder than hope. That's what made you different. That's why you are chosen. You may not have realized it, but every trial was testing the foundation of your trust. When God didn't answer right away, would you still believe he's good when you were overlooked? Would you still serve when the silence stretched longer than expected? Would you still wait? These questions were written into your path, and your endurance has been your answer. Heaven has watched you remain faithful in obscurity. And now the time of revealing draws near. It is not that your pain was insignificant, it was that its purpose was greater than your understanding. You weren't meant to carry that pain forever, you were meant to carry the wisdom born from it. Each scar became a line in your testimony, and those lines will one day speak healing to others who are still bleeding. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the second book of Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 17, "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, is working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory." That verse was written for souls like yours, those who have walked through fire and wondered if anything good could come from it. Heaven calls your suffering light, not because it didn't hurt, but because compared to the glory about to be revealed, it will seem small. The pain you endured is working for you, not against you. It is producing something invisible but powerful: endurance, humility, discernment, and divine authority. When God trusts you with pain, it's because He plans to trust you with purpose. Many crave the crown but reject the cross. But you, chosen one, carried the cross quietly when no one saw. You didn't demand recognition, you just kept walking. And that is why the coming glory will not just visit you, it will rest upon you. The weight you carried in tears will return to you as the weight of glory. The same places where you felt abandoned will soon become altars of gratitude. The nights of emptiness will turn into mornings of overflow. God never wastes pain, He transforms it into power. The heavens have recorded every moment you stayed standing when everything in you wanted to give up. The world might never celebrate that resilience, but heaven has already written your name among those who endured. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared for the very thing you prayed for when you were too tired to pray out loud. Let your heart be still tonight. The heaviness you once carried is already being lifted. You may not see the full picture yet, but something in the unseen is moving for you. The weight you bore was not in vain, it was the weight of becoming. And now, heaven whispers, lay it down. You have carried it long enough. You feel it even now, the release beginning deep within your chest. The invisible heaviness starts to melt as if unseen hands untie every knot you once called pain. Heaven breathes peace into your weary bones. The echoes of yesterday no longer define you. Every whispered doubt fades beneath the sound of destiny calling your name. You are lighter, freer, ready to walk unafraid into what's next. The past loses its grip. Now lift your eyes. The horizon glows with quiet promise. What once broke you has built you. What once silenced you has strengthened you. Your new chapter begins beneath heaven's radiant favor. There are seasons in life when silence feels like rejection. Yet in truth, it is divine instruction. The quiet moments when no one applauds, when nothing seems to move forward, those are the sacred hours of training. You thought God forgot you, but He was forming you. Every hidden year, every unseen effort, every unnoticed prayer has been shaping the foundation for what is about to emerge. You were never meant to bloom prematurely. If a flower opens too soon, it cannot survive the wind. That is why heaven concealed you. The delay was protection, not punishment. While you compared your pace to others, heaven was fortifying your roots. What you called waiting, heaven called building. The unseen seasons taught you how to hear, how to discern, how to endure. You were not just being prepared for blessings, you were being prepared to carry them without breaking. There were days when it felt like the world was passing you by. You watched others celebrate milestones while you quietly questioned if your moment would ever come. But look back closely through every pause. Your faith matured. You learned to trust God even when nothing made sense. You learned to walk in obedience without needing validation. That is why you are ready now, because hidden strength has become your second nature. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 29, verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." This is what you could not see when you cried. When you felt invisible, heaven already had your future written. Every setback was secretly steering you toward alignment with that plan. The pain was a classroom, and you have graduated. You are stepping into a new phase where the same silence that once frustrated you will become your greatest teacher. You will understand that obscurity is sacred ground, the place where God molds warriors before revealing them to the world. The next time you feel forgotten, remember this: seeds are always buried before they bloom. Your hidden years were never wasted. The loneliness birthed deeper intimacy with heaven. The rejection refined your compassion. The waiting tested your faith until it became unshakable. When your name begins to echo in places you've never been, you'll realize none of it was random. Every delay was divine choreography. Heaven hides what it values most. That's why you were overlooked. You were not kept in the shadows because you lacked worth. You were hidden because you carried it. There are gifts inside you that the world has not seen yet, and heaven is waiting for the appointed time to unveil them. Now, as the appointed season draws near, don't despise your hiddenness. Cherish it. It's where your roots grow deep enough to sustain the weight of destiny. And when the light finally finds you, you will not crumble. You will rise with authority, forged in silence. The same people who questioned your stillness will marvel at your emergence. They will ask how you became so strong, how you kept believing, how you still radiate peace after all that pain. And your answer will be simple: because God trained me in the quiet. There's a grace in obscurity that the world cannot comprehend. It's where you learn to recognize heaven's voice above the noise of approval. It's where you stop chasing applause and start craving alignment. It's where you become unstoppable, not because you are loud, but because you are rooted. Listen, heaven is not late. You are exactly where you need to be. The silence you are enduring is proof that something sacred is being prepared for your unveiling. Type, "I am chosen." Say it not as a cliché, but as a declaration. When you type those words, you're agreeing with heaven's record about you. You're saying, "I understand now my hidden season was never empty. It was evidence that I'm being prepared for something greater." Let the world know you are not waiting idly. You are waiting intentionally. The silence is almost over. The unveiling is near. When the door finally opens, it will not just introduce a new chapter, it will introduce a new you. When you type, "I am chosen," you are not merely repeating a phrase, you are activating faith. Those 3 words declare that you accept heaven's verdict over your life. You are no longer questioning your worth. You are stepping boldly into divine identity and purpose. "I am chosen" means you refuse to let rejection define you. It means the opinions of others no longer hold power to shrink your spirit. It is your declaration that the same God who selected prophets and kings has also handpicked you for a time such as this. Each time you write, "I am chosen," you echo eternity's truth. You remind darkness that you are marked, sealed, and protected. It's not just affirmation, it's warfare. Every letter becomes a sword, cutting through doubt, silencing fear, and announcing your destiny has already been authorized. When darkness recognized your light, it reacted. That is why the warfare intensified, why confusion increased, why people turned without reason. You were never simply going through random attacks. Your spirit was being targeted because of its radiance. Hell does not waste energy on those who pose no threat. The more resistance you faced, the clearer heaven's mark on you became. You have always carried something that unsettles darkness, even as a child. You may have felt different, more sensitive, more aware, more spiritually awake than those around you. You could sense when something wasn't right. You could discern truth behind people's words. You could feel the shift in the atmosphere. That sensitivity is not weakness, it is evidence of your divine wiring. It's what makes you a light carrier. When you walk into a room, unseen energies recognize the authority you carry. That's why some people feel uneasy near you without knowing why. Your presence convicts what refuses to change. You were not designed to blend in. You were designed to expose what's hidden. Every chosen one has this effect. The light in them reveals the darkness around them. So don't misinterpret the rejection. Don't take every attack personally. Understand this: when the darkness rises against you, it's because you've stepped into territory you were sent to transform. The closer you get to your divine assignment, the louder the resistance becomes. But that's how heaven confirms your position. You are right where you need to be. There were nights when you felt like the world itself was pressing down on your chest. You wondered if maybe you'd done something wrong to deserve it. But no, it wasn't punishment. It was proof. Your life carries an anointing that the enemy cannot duplicate or destroy. So instead, he tries to distract and discourage. Every accusation, every misunderstanding, every sudden loss was meant to break your focus, but here you are, still standing, still believing. The reason the enemy fought you so hard was because he saw what was coming before you did. He saw your potential long before you recognized your calling. He knew that once you realized who you are, you would become unstoppable. So he tried to bury you in doubt, confusion, and fear, hoping you would forfeit your crown before discovering it was already yours. But what darkness fails to understand is that pain becomes power when placed in God's hands. Every battle you've endured has equipped you with authority. Every disappointment taught you discernment. Every heartbreak increased your empathy. You've learned how to fight, not with bitterness, but with wisdom. You've learned how to pray when you have no strength left to speak. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 5, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." That is the truth written over your life. The darkness tried, but it failed. It could not extinguish your light. You may have stumbled. You may have doubted. But you never stopped glowing. And that glow quiet, consistent, fierce is what terrifies hell. You are walking evidence that light always wins. There is power in knowing that what tried to destroy you only trained you. You're no longer fragile, you're fortified. You've learned that faith is not proven in comfort, but in conflict. The same battles that once made you cry now make you roar. Your prayers have changed too. They no longer come from desperation, but from dominion. You're beginning to realize that you carry the same spirit that raised Jesus from the dead. And that awareness shifts everything. The attacks were never about your past. They were always about your future. Every delay, every disappointment, every door that slammed shut was strategically designed to make you doubt your authority. But now, the enemy's tactics are exposed. You can see through the lies. You know what's at stake, and you refuse to bow. Your scars are your credentials. Each one testifies that you fought and survived. You have nothing to prove. Your endurance already proves it. Those who once pitied you will one day seek your wisdom, because when heaven restores, it does not just return what was lost, it multiplies it. The time has come to stop apologizing for the weight of your calling. You are not too much. You are exactly enough for what heaven requires. Your light was never meant to be dimmed to make others comfortable. It was meant to guide those still trapped in shadow. So, stand firm. Walk boldly. You are not fragile glass. You are tempered steel. The fire you've endured did not burn you. It forged you. And now, when darkness tries to whisper again, you can answer not with fear, but with fire. I have already survived what was sent to destroy me. And that is why December 12 is not just another date, it's heaven's way of saying, the light has won. The days move closer to the appointed moment, and heaven's rhythm begins to shift. You can almost sense it, the atmosphere changing, the air itself humming with unseen activity. Something in your spirit knows that time is no longer crawling, it's gathering speed toward divine fulfillment. December 12 is not just a date on a calendar. It's a prophetic hour, a sacred intersection where what you've prayed for begins to touch what's been prepared for you. You may feel both anticipation and fear dancing inside you. That's what happens right before breakthrough. The soul trembles. The heart awakens. But listen carefully. This trembling is not weakness. It's recognition. Your spirit recognizes that the season of delay is dissolving. The spiritual clock has struck 12. For too long, your life has felt like waiting in the hallway between prayers and promises. You've watched others walk through their doors while yours remained closed. But heaven has been aligning every hinge and every lock for this moment. The door you are about to walk through could not have opened sooner. It needed your maturity, your surrender, your refined faith. You are ready now, and heaven knows it. There is a divine synchronization happening right now. What once felt random begins to make sense. The rejections, the detours, even the heartbreaks, they were not missteps. They were markers. You've been walking through a divine choreography, each movement guided by unseen hands. And now, the music changes. The tempo rises. The prophetic melody builds toward revelation. According to what is revealed in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1, to everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. This is your time. The season that once broke you is now becoming the soil that births you. Every delay was not denial, it was timing. The one who set the stars in their courses has also scheduled your release. December 12 is the hour when your season shifts from endurance to emergence. You will know it not because of noise, but because of peace. The kind of peace that feels like a sunrise inside your chest. You won't have to chase it. You won't have to force anything. What is yours will begin to recognize you, to move toward you, to respond to the vibration of your readiness. There's a tenderness in this moment, a still invitation from heaven. It doesn't shout. It simply whispers, "Come closer." The kind of closeness that transforms observers into participants. You are not watching prophecy unfold anymore. You are stepping into it. Every cell in your being can feel the shift. The pain that once anchored you is losing its grip, and something weightless begins to take its place. Hope reborn. The old wounds no longer sting, they shine. They tell the story of survival turned into sacred strength. The tears that once blurred your vision now water the soil beneath your feet. You are not walking through ruins, you are walking through resurrection. If this message finds you in that tender in-between, don't rush it. Let the peace of this season settle over you. Let it remind you that heaven's timing is always perfect, even when your heart was breaking under the weight. And now, as your spirit senses this new dawn, you're invited, not commanded, to join the movement of light. If something in these words stirs your heart, don't resist it. Let it move through you. Let your gratitude rise like a song. Let your spirit respond in whatever way feels most true. Perhaps that means you whisper thank you. Perhaps that means you quietly decide to stay connected to the messages that nourish your faith to subscribe. Like a traveler returning to the same river for living water. Perhaps that means you gently extend this light to share it with someone else who needs to remember that morning always follows the night. Perhaps that means you touch the flame again to like what resonated, not as obligation, but as the soft lighting of a candle that says, "This light lives in me now." There's no pressure here. No command, just invitation. A divine opportunity to align yourself with the rhythm of grace. The act of staying connected, of returning, of sharing, becomes more than a digital gesture. It becomes worship. Your story is already unfolding beautifully. December 12 is the turning of the page. Step into it with peace, with awareness, with quiet confidence. The clock of heaven is right on time, and so are you. The stars above you seem to lean closer, as if heaven itself is holding its breath for what's about to unfold. Every second hums with purpose. Every heartbeat aligns with divine rhythm. You are standing beneath an open sky of promise. Let this awareness settle gently within you. The waiting has become wonder. The ache has become awe. You are walking toward the light you once prayed for. And soon, the dawn will call your name. The atmosphere around you is shifting again quietly, steadily, like dawn rising after a long night. You can almost feel the invisible turning of a page in the spiritual realm. The heaviness that once pressed against your chest begins to lift, replaced by something lighter, clearer. It's as if heaven itself exhales, and that breath reaches you. Every season changes by divine decree, and now your life stands on the threshold of transition. What once delayed you will soon propel you. The same doors that refused to open will begin to move with effortless grace. Not because you fought harder, but because timing has finally bowed in your favor. You are stepping into the season of reversal, the season where pain becomes purpose and waiting becomes witness. When God begins to shift a life, it rarely happens with thunder. It begins as a whisper, a sense that something unseen has begun to align. That's what you're feeling right now, the sacred rearrangement of everything meant for your good. Look closely at your story. Can you see the thread of divine design woven through every disappointment, the job that didn't last, the friendship that dissolved, the plan that fell apart? All of them redirected you toward alignment. What felt like loss was navigation. You weren't being rejected, you were being rerouted. This is the moment when what was once heavy begins to work for you. The tables are turning, not by your strength, but by divine order. Heaven has begun to flip the script in your favor. Those who misunderstood you will watch as grace vindicates your name. Those who doubted your endurance will witness your rising. You are walking into a time when divine acceleration meets divine ease. Things that once took years will happen suddenly. Things that were locked will open without struggle. The waiting has refined you so that you can handle what comes next with humility, not pride. You won't have to fight to prove yourself anymore. Your fruit will speak for you. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy. Chapter 28, verse 12. The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to send rain on your land in season and to bless all the work of your hands. This is the promise unfolding before you. The rain that once seemed withheld is now gathering. The spiritual drought ends, and the ground you have faithfully tended through tears will finally bloom. You are about to see harvest where you once saw barrenness. But listen, the harvest will not come by striving. It will come through surrender. The secret of this season is rest, not resistance. Trust, not tension. Heaven doesn't need your anxiety. It needs your agreement. When you release control, you make room for miracles. Your part is to stay in alignment, to keep your heart soft, and to expect goodness again. The enemy's greatest weapon has always been hopelessness, but that weapon is now disarmed. Hope is returning to you like morning light after endless rain. You may feel uncertain, but uncertainty is the language of faith. When you cannot see the full path, that's when you're walking by trust. Every step you take now will be ordered. Every delay that once discouraged you will be rewritten as divine timing. If you sense this word stirring something deep within, let your response be prophetic, not passive. Declare your agreement with heaven's turning by commenting 8,888 below, not as superstition, but as symbolism. 8 is the number of new beginnings, and this is the season where one chapter closes and another opens in radiant grace. By writing those digits, you are simply saying, I agree with the divine shift. I am ready for what's next. This is not about algorithms or audience, it's about alignment. When you type that number, you mark a moment in eternity. You say, this is my turning point. Let it be a simple act of faith, a quiet sign between you and heaven that you recognize the new day dawning. The clouds are parting, the light is breaking through, the air carries promise, and the ground beneath you hums with blessing. You are no longer walking beneath the weight of delay, you are walking beneath open skies. When you write 8,888, you are not typing digits, you are marking a covenant. Each 8 folds into the next like a doorway within a doorway, symbolizing new beginnings layered in endless grace. Heaven watches faith expressed through simple, obedient action. 8,888 is your declaration that the old cycle has ended. It speaks what your heart already knows, that the season of striving has given way to the rhythm of surrender. It is the language of renewal, where rest becomes your new strength. When your fingers trace 8,888, it is more than comment, it is confession. You align with heaven's turning. You whisper through numbers, I am ready for restoration. I accept the new. I will not return to what once broke me. There comes a moment when what once felt like breaking becomes birthing. You thought the pain was a sign of ending, but heaven knew it was the sound of something being born. The contractions of your soul, the pressure, the ache. The tearing were not punishment, they were prophecy in motion. Every sigh, every cry, every trembling breath was preparing the atmosphere for your arrival into something greater. You have not been falling apart, you have been unfolding. The breaking point you feared was simply the threshold between who you were and who you were becoming. Heaven often disguises new beginnings as endings, because only the broken shell reveals the living seed within. You prayed for strength, but instead God gave you circumstances that built it. You prayed for wisdom, and He gave you waiting. You prayed for purpose, and He gave you pain, the kind that awakens sleeping potential. There were days when you thought you were losing everything. You whispered through tears, God, I can't take any more. and heaven whispered back, "You are almost through." You didn't realize that the pressure you were under was divine confirmation. The spiritual tension was not random, it was evidence that birth was near. We find in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 18, "I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us." Those words were written for you. The suffering you endured has purpose far beyond what your eyes can see. The very things that felt unbearable are the same things that will one day fuel your testimony. The glory being revealed in you is not fragile, it's forged. Every trial pressed you deeper into divine dependence. And that's where strength was born. There is a rhythm in this breaking that only heaven understands. To the world, it looks like loss. To heaven, it's transition. The clay must be pressed before it can take shape. The gold must be refined before it can shine. And you had to be stretched, stripped, and surrendered before you could stand unshakable. You did not break because you were weak. You broke because you were expanding. The container that once held you could no longer contain the magnitude of who you are becoming. So God allowed the pressure to release you from limits that comfort had built. Every tear watered the soil of transformation. Every sleepless night was the midnight of your becoming. What seemed like death to your plans was actually birth to your destiny. You've been carried by invisible hands. Even when you felt like you were falling, heaven never left you in the dark, it was midwifing you through it. If you listen closely now, you can hear the still rhythm of new life inside you, the heartbeat of destiny, steady and sure, whispering, "You made it through." The pain that once defined you is now the proof that you survived. You're standing on the other side of what was meant to destroy you, clothed not in despair, but in divine authority. You are no longer the person who entered the storm. You've changed in ways you can't yet articulate. The fire refined you, burned away illusions, and left only what was real. You no longer beg for approval, you breathe authenticity. You no longer chase what leaves you, welcome what aligns. That is growth. That is resurrection. Sometimes we think rebirth looks beautiful, but in truth, it's messy. It involves loss, surrender, letting go of the familiar. It's crying without answers, walking without clarity, and trusting without control. But every broken piece has found its place in the mosaic of your purpose. The world may never understand how you're still standing, how your eyes still carry light after everything you've seen. But that's what makes you different. You were never meant to reflect the world. You were meant to reveal heaven. The breaking point was not your ending, it was heaven's opening. You are no longer in the place of fragments, you are in the place of formation. What was shattered has been gathered. What was empty is being filled. The wilderness season that once starved you of hope has now become the garden where faith grows wild and strong. And when you look back, you'll see that every heartbreak, every disappointment, every lonely night was part of the blueprint. Pain was not your enemy, it was your midwife. It ushered you into a new level of awareness, one where joy is deeper, peace is steadier, and purpose feels tangible. The storm didn't end you, it ended what could not continue with you. You emerged lighter, wiser, more awake. The same hands that broke you open are now lifting you higher. The story that once made you weep will soon make others believe again. So breathe, rest. Let the memory of pain transform into gratitude. What once felt like loss now feels like release. You are not the broken one anymore. You are the birthed one. The cries of anguish have become songs of arrival. You have crossed over, and everything about you now declares, I survived to be reborn. There are moments in time when heaven unseals what has been hidden for years, and the scrolls of destiny begin to unfold. You feel it before you see it, a stirring in the spirit, a quiet realization that the season has changed. What was once veiled in mystery begins to make sense, and what once seemed delayed suddenly finds divine direction. You have been walking toward this moment your entire life, though you didn't know it. Every chapter before this one was leading you here to remembrance, to revelation, to recognition of who you truly are. The scrolls of your destiny have always existed, written before your first breath. But now, heaven opens them, not because you have earned it, but because you have been refined enough to read them. You are stepping into a time of divine recall. When the forgotten promises of God resurface, dreams you buried under disappointment will rise again, not in their old form, but in renewed strength. You will understand why certain prayers seemed unanswered, because the answer was scheduled for this precise hour. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry. Wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not delay. This is that appointed time. What was once waiting is now awakening. Every unfulfilled prophecy over your life is stirring, aligning with heaven's timing. You've reached the moment when delay expires and fulfillment begins. The visions you thought had died were not dead, they were dormant, protected until your faith could sustain them. When heaven opens the scrolls, it is not just information that is revealed, but identity. You will begin to remember who you are beyond the labels life gave you. You are not merely the product of your pain or the reflection of your failures. You are the living expression of God's design, a written word in human form. The enemy fought you so fiercely because he feared your awakening. For too long, you've seen yourself through the eyes of what hurt you. You've measured your worth by outcomes, your progress by comparison, your faith by feelings. But heaven now calls you to see differently. You are not behind. You are right on time. Every pause was part of the preparation. The delay was the teacher you didn't know you needed. The unfolding of destiny is not always loud. Sometimes it's as simple as a shift in your spirit, a sudden peace where there used to be panic, a steady trust where there used to be tension. These are signs that the scrolls have begun to open. Revelation never arrives in chaos. It enters through stillness. You will start to recognize divine patterns in your story. People will return. Doors will open. Opportunities will reappear. But this time, you will see with clarity. The things that once confused you will make perfect sense. The pain that once felt wasted will prove to have been holy preparation. You will realize that even your mistakes were woven into mercy's plan. Heaven is meticulous. Nothing in your journey is wasted, not the detours, not the disappointments, not even the delays. Everything was working toward alignment. The scrolls being opened now are not new words. They are ancient truths remembered. They are the blueprint of your calling, written long before the world tried to define you. There is a stillness before every revelation, and that stillness rests over you now. Heaven whispers not to rush, not to force understanding. The unfolding of destiny is delicate, like petals opening under the first light of dawn. Each revelation blooms in perfect order. In the coming days, Expect your spirit to feel more alert. You'll notice signs, small confirmations, unexpected peace in the middle of uncertainty. These are not coincidences, they are divine winks. Reminders that the author is still writing. The same hand that began your story is turning the page toward fulfillment. And when you begin to see fragments of your purpose come together, don't be surprised if it brings you to tears. The moment of remembrance is sacred. It's not just the discovery of calling, it's the reunion of your soul with the reason it was created. So breathe deeply and let this awareness settle over you. Nothing was lost, only waiting. The scrolls of destiny are unfolding even now, revealing what has always been yours. You don't need to strive for it, you need only to stay open, to listen, to remember. The same voice that spoke stars into being is the voice that now whispers your name again, softly, tenderly, calling you back to the truth you've carried all along. You were written for this moment. You can almost feel the ink of heaven still wet upon your name. Every letter of your purpose gleams with light, reminding creation that you were always meant to rise now. The scroll closes gently, but the revelation remains open within you. You are living scripture, walking prophecy, breathing evidence that destiny never forgets its own. There are moments when heaven sends reinforcements, when the unseen realm stirs, and angels are released to move on behalf of those who refuse to surrender. You may not see their wings, but you will feel their presence in the sudden calm after chaos, in the inexplicable strength that appears just when you thought you had none left. You've walked through battles that weren't just emotional or physical, they were spiritual. Nights when you couldn't sleep because something heavy pressed on your chest. Days when discouragement whispered louder than hope. Those were not ordinary struggles. Those were confrontations in the unseen. The clash between light and darkness for the territory of your destiny. But now, heaven declares you are not alone in this fight. There are forces moving in your favor. Even now, the same God who commanded the Red Sea to part has commanded angelic hosts to go before you. They are unseen, but they are active, defending, restoring, and clearing the path ahead. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Hebrews, chapter 1, verse 14, "Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation?" That is you, the inheritor, the one heaven fights for. When you were too tired to pray, the Spirit interceded. When your words failed, your tears became warfare. When you thought you were walking alone, you were surrounded by light. Every attack that should have destroyed you was intercepted by unseen hands. The truth is, your survival is not ordinary. Many have walked through lesser storms and never stood again. But you, somehow, you still rise. That resilience is not just your strength, it's divine assistance. Angels have guarded your steps, rerouted your plans, and whispered peace into your storms. There are things you will never know, accidents that never happened, opportunities that stayed hidden until the right time, heartbreaks that never reached you because heaven intercepted them first. Every no that hurt you was protection in disguise. Every delay was heaven buying you time to heal before your next assignment. You have to understand, the warfare against your life was never just about you. The enemy feared your influence, your voice, your light. If he could silence you, he could stop the chain reaction of hope you were destined to ignite in others. That's why the battles felt so personal. They were never about what you lost, but about who you are. Now, heaven shifts from defense to declaration. Angels are not just guarding, you are being guided. The same forces that fought for your survival are now ushering you into destiny. The path ahead is not just cleared, it's blessed. What once felt cursed will soon reveal itself as covered. Sometimes, angels don't arrive with trumpets or visible wings. Sometimes they come disguised as opportunities, as sudden courage, as peace that makes no sense. Pay attention to those moments. They are heaven's fingerprints. You'll recognize them by the way your spirit exhales when they appear. And though the world cannot see it, right now, heaven has stationed light around you. Your home, your mind, your heart, they are surrounded. What was once chaos is becoming calm. The atmosphere is shifting in your favor. This is the season when your prayers begin to echo in heaven's language. The command has already gone forth. The help you need is not coming, it has arrived. The unseen realm is alive with motion, carrying your name in divine conversation. When you feel a sudden sense of peace for no reason, don't ignore it. That's evidence of angelic presence. When you notice doors opening that once seemed impossible, know that the same hands guiding them open are the ones that once shielded you from harm. If this truth settles in your heart tonight, if something inside you stirs as you read these words, take a moment and declare your agreement with heaven. Comment, "Angels move." You are not typing words, you are releasing alignment. When you write, "Angels move," you are giving heaven permission to continue what has already begun. It's not superstition, it's synchronization. A declaration that you are ready to walk in step with divine movement. For the first time in a long time, you can rest. The war around you has not ended, but your position in it has changed. You are no longer fighting for victory, you are standing from it. The armies of light are already ahead, and you, chosen one, are surrounded by glory. When you write, "Angels move," it becomes more than a comment, it becomes a call. Those words align your heart with heaven's command, signaling that you are aware, awake, and willing to cooperate with divine assistance already active on your behalf. Each time you declare "Angels move," you remind darkness that light has authority. You affirm that you no longer walk alone, that unseen hands guide your path. It's your whispered agreement with eternity. Heaven is moving, and I am moving with it. There are doors that only open for you. They do not respond to reputation, title, or effort. They respond to identity. You cannot imitate your way into them, nor can anyone else take your place before them. These doors were carved with your name, sealed with your breath, and timed with your obedience. When the hour arrives, when heaven deems you ready, they open, not by force, but by recognition. You are approaching one of those doors now. You will not have to push or plead. It will sense you coming and yield. The key is not in your hand, it's in your spirit. Every moment of surrender has shaped that key. Every decision to trust. Every time you chose faith over fear. The door you are about to step through opens to those whose hearts have been refined by waiting. There's a sacred beauty in knowing that what's yours cannot be stolen. What was written for you cannot be erased, delayed, or transferred. Heaven does not negotiate your calling, it confirms it. And confirmation comes quietly, often without applause, often without witnesses. But you will know when it happens. The air will shift, the weight will lift, and peace will announce your permission to proceed. As was spoken in the Gospel of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 8. See, I have set before you an open door that no one can shut. I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. This is that door, the one you've sensed in prayer, the one you've dreamed about but could never describe. It is not physical, it's prophetic. The opportunity, the restoration, the alignment, it's all part of this doorway moment. When heaven opens a door, you will recognize it by peace. It won't demand that you betray yourself. It won't require that you chase approval. It won't manipulate you with fear. The door designed for you will invite you into freedom, not pressure. You won't have to perform for it. You will simply belong. So stand before it quietly. Feel the air shifting. Listen for the still, small voice that says, "Step forward." This is not a command, it's an invitation. A divine gesture from the Creator to His creation. Come and see what I've prepared for you. When you walk through it, don't rush. Let each step be a prayer. Feel the weight of years lifting with every movement. Behind you lies the season of waiting. Before you lies the landscape of fulfillment. This is the passage where sorrow exhales and purpose inhales. And as you walk, know this: doors are not just meant for entry, they are meant for transformation. When you cross through, you won't be the same. The air on the other side will feel different because you will breathe differently. The way you see, speak, and move will all carry the fragrance of destiny. There are moments in life when gratitude becomes the most sacred response. If this word has reached you like a warm wind, if it has reminded you that your waiting wasn't wasted, then let gratitude rise naturally, not as a performance, but as a pulse. Perhaps gratitude feels like a soft smile. Perhaps it feels like stillness, like sitting quietly in the glow of what you've just received. Or perhaps it moves you to share the light, to let it spill into another soul still searching for hope. If you feel that pull, follow it gently. To share this message is to pass the torch. You're not promoting words, you're spreading warmth. You become the candle that lights another flame. And in that act, heaven multiplies illumination. And if something in you longs to stay close to this current of light, then to subscribe is not just a digital choice, it's a spiritual gesture. It's like returning to the same sunrise each morning, saying, "I want to keep walking where light lives." Finally, if this word has found a quiet home in your spirit, if it's touched the place that once felt forgotten, then let your response be small but sincere. To like is to acknowledge resonance. It's like whispering, "Yes, I hear this. Yes, it lives in me too." No obligation, no demand, just invitation. The door stands open, and you are free to walk through or to linger in reflection. Either choice is holy when it's guided by peace. What awaits beyond that door is not pressure, it's promise. Not noise, but knowing. The world may not see this moment, but heaven marks it. You are about to step into the place prepared for you before you even knew to ask for it. So go gently. Let gratitude be your language, and peace your guide. The door has opened not just around you, but within you. And as you cross through, may the air on the other side feel like freedom. There are seasons when the heavens decree not just restoration, but reversal. This is one of those seasons. What was taken is returning. What was broken is mending. What was lost in the fog of despair is being illuminated again by the light of grace. You are stepping into the great reversal, the hour when God begins to exchange ashes for beauty and captivity for purpose. For too long, you've believed that what left your hands was gone forever. You thought opportunities had slipped through your fingers, that time itself had betrayed you. But heaven was not punishing you, it was preserving you. Some things were withheld because they would have destroyed you before they could bless you. You were being hidden not from blessing, but for it. Every seed of obedience you planted in tears has been waiting underground. Now, the soil of your life has shifted, and those buried moments are breaking open. It's not just growth, it's resurrection. Every yes you whispered in faith, every sacrifice that went unseen, is coming back multiplied. Heaven never forgets the language of surrender. As the Word of God declares in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 25, I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten, the great locust and the young locust, the other locusts and the locust swarm, my great army which I sent among you. Those years weren't wasted. Every lost moment, every painful delay, every dry season was recorded. And now, heaven repays with interest. The locusts took, but they didn't win. The same ground that was stripped bare is now rich with promise. The same places where you wept will soon echo with laughter. You may not realize it yet, but the reversal has already begun. The shift happens quietly at first, like dawn creeping across the horizon. You wake one morning and notice peace where there used to be panic. You look back at what broke you and realize you no longer bleed when you touch it. That's when you know restoration has taken root. It doesn't always shout. Sometimes it simply heals. The power of reversal lies in God's ability to redeem what seems beyond repair. He does not merely give you replacements. He transforms the very ruins into revelation. The pain that once embarrassed you becomes the testimony that strengthens others. The delay that made you question your calling becomes the evidence of divine wisdom. Heaven's math is not addition, it's multiplication. What you lost will not return in equal measure. It will return pressed down, shaken together, running over. You are not recovering scraps, you are inheriting overflow. The places where shame silenced you will soon be filled with stories of glory. Think of Joseph, sold into slavery by his brothers, betrayed by those who should have loved him. The pit was real. The prison was real, but so was the palace. Every step that looked like descent was actually direction. The same betrayal that broke his heart positioned him for breakthrough. You are walking that same path of divine reversal, the pit before promotion, the pain before power. Do not mistake stillness for stagnation, even when you can't see the change. It's happening beneath the surface. Restoration often begins underground. God doesn't rebuild on ruins. He rebuilds through them. Every scar becomes structure. Every wound becomes wisdom. The restoration process is not about erasing the past. It's about reclaiming authority over it. And when the reversal completes its circle, you'll see that God didn't just fix what was broken, He made it better. You will hold what once hurt you and feel gratitude instead of grief. You will revisit memories that once brought shame and find only peace. That's what redemption looks like, not pretending it never happened, but knowing it no longer defines you. There will be days when the blessing arrives quietly, disguised as ordinary peace. Don't overlook it. Miracles rarely arrive with noise. They slip in softly, restoring what time and sorrow once eroded. One day soon, you'll realize that the ache in your chest has been replaced by a steady warmth, the pulse of contentment. the heartbeat of renewal. The season of reversal is not just about getting back what was lost. It's about becoming the kind of person who can hold abundance without fear. The old you prayed for restoration, the new you lives from it. The difference is awareness, understanding that you are no longer waiting for goodness. You are walking in it. Take a deep breath and notice the shift. Life may look the same on the outside, but inside, heaven's balance sheets are being rewritten. The scales that once tipped against you are now leaning toward favor. The years that seemed wasted are returning with purpose attached. Soon, you will understand why the pain was necessary, why the waiting was long, why the silence was holy. God was not withholding, He was multiplying. And now the return begins, not as repayment, but as revelation. You will see that nothing was ever truly lost. It was all being prepared to come back to you, transformed. The air feels different now, thin, charged, holy. The night between December 11 and 12 is not an ordinary night. It is what heaven calls the prophetic midnight, the sacred hinge between what was and what will be. The veil thins, the silence deepens, and the unseen world grows close enough to feel. This is the moment when heaven speaks in whispers so clear they echo inside your bones. You may wake suddenly in the middle of the night without knowing why. You may sense an unseen presence, not frightening but familiar, peaceful, watchful, waiting. Don't ignore it. That stirring is heaven brushing against your awareness. Angels move quietly at this hour, carrying instructions from the throne, aligning what your prayers have already prepared. At prophetic midnight, old things close their eyes for the final time. The battles that have haunted your nights begin to dissolve, not through your strength, but through divine decree. Every unspoken question meets its quiet answer. Every spiritual chain begins to loosen. It's the moment when heaven says, "Enough." It was proclaimed in the second letter to Peter, chapter 3, verse 8. With the Lord a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day. That means this hour is weightier than it seems. Heaven does not count time the way we do. In one divine moment, decades of delay can collapse into sudden fulfillment. What would take a lifetime in the natural can shift in a single midnight minute under God's command. This is why you have felt the pull lately to pray, to be still, to listen. The Spirit has been preparing you for this encounter. There are messages destined for your heart that can only be heard in silence. Heaven is not demanding your effort, it's inviting your attention. Prophetic midnight is not marked by clocks, but by awareness. You'll know it has arrived when the atmosphere itself feels lighter, when something in you exhales for the first time in years. The weariness lifts, and a calm certainty settles in its place. It's the quiet before a breakthrough, so personal that words will never fully describe it. This is not just the end of pain, it's the birth of perception. The eyes of your spirit are opening wider. You'll begin to see what's always been there but hidden signs, confirmations, divine fingerprints woven through your story. You'll sense alignment in places that once felt chaotic. Even your dreams may begin to change, no longer mirrors of fear, but maps of purpose. When the veil thins, heaven doesn't simply speak, it reorders. The voices of worry lose their volume. The noise of the world fades until all that remains is presence. You are not alone in that stillness. You are surrounded by movement too vast to measure. The same God who commands galaxies turns his attention toward your heart in this hour. Prophetic midnight carries a choice. You can rush through it and miss the whisper, or you can pause and receive it. Stillness is your act of faith here. When you stop striving, you make room for revelation. This is where surrender becomes strength, the place where you stop wrestling for control and start resting in certainty. If this word resonates within you, mark this sacred transition in faith. Comment 4444 below. Let it be your symbol, your silent declaration that you are awake to what heaven is doing. 4 is the number of stability, of divine order being restored. 4444 represents the building of foundation heaven, establishing the structure of what will now stand. When you write it, you are not begging for miracles, you are acknowledging one already unfolding. You're saying, I align with divine order. I receive peace where there was panic. I accept clarity where there was confusion. This midnight moment is not meant to be feared, it is meant to be felt. Heaven's clock has struck for you. The unseen has turned its gaze toward your name. You don't need to chase signs anymore. The sign has already found you. Be still. Breathe deeply. The night is almost over. What awakens on December 12 will not just be a new day, it will be a new you. When you type 4444, you are not entering numbers, you are acknowledging movement. Each 4 mirrors a corner of divine stability. The unseen pillars of your destiny being set into perfect alignment. It is heaven's way of saying, stand firm, the foundation is sure. Writing 4444 is your quiet yes to divine order. It represents the restoration of balance in every area once marked by chaos. It's a symbol of completion, meeting creation, north, south, east, west, all corners of your life touched by light. Each 4 becomes a brick in your spiritual house. Together they form a sacred pattern that declares, my steps are ordered. My peace is anchored. My heart is steady. This isn't just faith written, it's destiny stabilized through the language of numbers. There are seasons when God doesn't just heal what's broken, He rebuilds what was destroyed. This is the season of restoration. The places within you that were once desolate will bloom again. What you thought was lost forever is finding its way back, renewed and transformed. Heaven is breathing life into the ruins of your story. Restoration is not just the return of what was taken, it is the transformation of what remains. It's God's way of proving that nothing surrendered to Him is ever wasted. Every heartbreak, every detour, every disappointment becomes raw material in His hands. You are not simply being restored to your past, you are being restored into your purpose. There was a time when your prayers felt like echoes in an empty room. You kept showing up, even when your faith was trembling, even when your heart was tired. But heaven was never silent, it was sowing. The silence you endured was the sound of seeds beneath the soil. Now, those seeds are breaking open. According to what is revealed in the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 7, instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion. And instead of disgrace, you will rejoice in your inheritance, and so you will inherit a double portion in your land, and everlasting joy will be yours. The promise of restoration does not simply comfort, it multiplies. You will not receive what you lost in equal measure, you will receive double. Heaven's justice never returns things as they were, it returns them transformed, enlarged by grace. The wounds that once humiliated you will soon carry wisdom that uplifts others. The same hands that were empty will overflow with divine abundance. Look closely and you'll see it already beginning. The people who walked away are being replaced by those who truly see you. The opportunities that once closed are being reopened, this time under better timing. Even your heart, once cautious, begins to hope again. Hope itself is proof that healing is happening. Restoration moves quietly. It doesn't always announce itself with miracles. It whispers through ordinary peace, through laughter returning to your mouth, through mornings that no longer feel heavy. You wake up one day and realize, I'm not who I used to be. The pain no longer owns me. There was a version of you who didn't think survival was possible, who prayed through tears, who kept going despite exhaustion. That version of you is holy. That perseverance became the soil where restoration grows. Every tear became a seed, and heaven keeps perfect count of seeds. Not one goes missing. Now, the same soil that drank your tears will produce fruit. The field of your life is being tilled by unseen hands. You are stepping into harvest not because you forced it, but because the season for it has finally arrived. The beauty of restoration is that it doesn't erase your scars, it redeems them. Scars are proof of healing, not evidence of defeat. They tell the truth of where you've been without keeping you bound to it. They whisper to the world, I have walked through fire, and still I shine. There will come a time when you look at the people who hurt you and feel no bitterness. When you revisit the memories that once made you cry and feel only gratitude, that's when you'll know the work of restoration is complete, not when everything looks perfect, but when peace remains unshaken. Do not rush this process. Restoration is delicate, and God takes his time with masterpieces. What he is rebuilding in you will last longer because it's being rooted deeper. The structures of your soul are being reinforced by grace. You are becoming unbreakable, not because life will never test you again, but because you will no longer fracture under pressure. There's a gentleness to this season, a holy tenderness in the way heaven moves. You are being rebuilt from the inside out, and even the smallest things feel sacred again. The way the sun touches your skin, the sound of laughter, the warmth of belonging, all reminders that joy has returned to your land. You don't have to fight for restoration, it is already flowing toward you. Like rivers finding their way home, blessings are tracing the path back to your name. Everything that drifted away during the storm is being redirected by divine currents. The tide has turned. Stand still for a moment and feel it, the hum of renewal in the air, the pulse of promise beneath your ribs. You are walking in fields that once lay barren. You are tasting joy that once felt impossible. The covenant of restoration has begun, and heaven will not stop until every empty place in you sings again. The wind that once carried sorrow now carries song. Every fragment of loss has learned harmony. Every scar hums softly, with remembrance turned radiant. You are whole again, not repaired, but reborn through mercy's gentle architecture. The soil of your spirit glows golden in twilight. Where weeds once tangled, blossoms now unfold. Heaven smiles through you, living proof that restoration is real. And beauty always finds its way home. There is a glory that only comes from ashes. It is the kind that does not sparkle artificially, but glows with quiet authority, the light born from endurance. The brilliance shaped through pain. You have walked through fire and emerged radiant. Heaven is now clothing you in the beauty of survival, in the majesty of purpose fulfilled through suffering. The world often measures success by what shines on the surface, but heaven measures it by what remains unbroken beneath the pressure. You have lost much, yet your spirit remains steady. That unshakable strength, that sacred resilience, is your crown. It was never made of gold or jewels. It was forged from endurance, humility, and faith. The ashes of your past, the broken dreams, the disappointments, the people who left were not wasted. They have become the soil where your true identity grows. God never builds on perfection. He builds on surrender. The moments that brought you to your knees were not moments of defeat. They were foundations for glory. The word of the Lord declares in the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 3, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. This is that promise unfolding over you. Heaven is crowning you in the very places where you once felt stripped bare. The sorrow that once defined you now becomes the evidence of divine exchange. The ashes that once clung to your hands have transformed into anointing the oil of joy, thicker and more fragrant because it was pressed through pain. The crown placed upon you is invisible, yet it changes everything. You may not feel different at first, but the world around you begins to recognize it. Favor responds to crowns. Opportunities open to those who have been refined by endurance. The same people who once underestimated you will now see the authority you carry, not the authority of arrogance, but of authenticity. This glory does not boast. It walks gently, knowing what it cost. You carry it in your posture, in your peace, in the quiet strength that does not need validation. Your light doesn't shout, it simply reveals. The crown upon you does not glitter for attention, it radiates assurance that you belong to something higher. In this season, you will begin to notice a shift in how you see yourself. The mirror no longer reflects weakness, but wisdom. The voice inside your mind no longer echoes failure, but freedom. You are not trying to prove your worth anymore, you are living from it. The ashes of your old identity have fallen away, and the royal robe of purpose now rests upon your shoulders. The journey has refined your empathy too. Because you have known heartbreak, you carry healing in your words. Because you have known silence, your presence now speaks peace. Your pain has become the very proof of your ministry. The things that wounded you now make you a safe place for others. That is what heaven calls redemption, when what once hurt you becomes a source of comfort for someone else. Understand this: glory and humility are not opposites, they are partners. True crowns rest only on bowed heads. That's why you had to be broken before you could be crowned. Pride cannot carry divine weight. Only surrender can. Every time you said, "I trust you," even here, heaven added another gem to your invisible crown. And now, you carry a radiance that cannot be dimmed. You are the testimony of grace under pressure. The evidence that ashes are never the end. The more you surrendered, the more heaven adorned you. Every tear polished your crown. Every act of forgiveness added shine. Every moment of obedience strengthened its setting. When you walk into rooms now, something unseen will precede you: peace, authority, clarity. People won't be able to explain it, but they'll feel it. That's the aura of divine restoration, the fragrance of glory born from ashes. You won't need to announce who you are. Heaven already has. This new season will not require striving. You no longer have to reach for recognition. it will find you naturally, drawn by the light you carry. The world honors resilience, even when it doesn't understand its source. And as you continue to walk humbly, your crown will only grow brighter. Let the weight of it rest gently upon your spirit. It is not a burden, it is a blessing. The crown doesn't make you proud. It reminds you that every scar had meaning. Every loss had purpose. The ashes were never proof of failure, they were evidence of fire. And fire purifies gold. You are that gold now refined, unbreakable, crowned with grace. And the beauty of it all is this: you did not crown yourself. Heaven did. The glow upon you is not borrowed light. It is your own, born from endurance, fed by faith. You walk crowned, not for display, but for destiny. A living flame reminding darkness that ashes always rise into beauty. There is a sound rising in the spirit, a clarion call to the remnant, the chosen ones scattered across the earth. It is not a loud call, not one of chaos or command, but of awakening, like the soft breaking of dawn after a storm. It touches those whose hearts have stayed faithful in the waiting. You are hearing it now, the gentle echo that says, "It is time." This call does not gather through noise, it gathers through resonance. Those who carry the same fire within their souls recognize it immediately. They are the ones who have endured trials that seemed unbearable, yet still whispered, "I trust you." They are the ones who have been refined in silence, misunderstood but never forgotten. They are the remnant, the chosen who did not quit when comfort called them back. You are one of them. You may not feel like it, but your endurance has already marked you. Every prayer, every act of forgiveness, every moment you chose light instead of bitterness has drawn heaven's attention. Now, heaven speaks not only to you, but through you. There is a collective rising taking place, a quiet revolution of faith. The earth has groaned under the weight of confusion and despair. But heaven is releasing a countersound through its chosen. Your voice, your presence, your very being becomes part of this sacred harmony. Together, the remnant forms a living symphony, notes of courage, tones of compassion, rhythms of unshakable hope. As the Apostle reminds us in his letter to Romans, chapter 8, verse 30, "And those he predestined, he also called; those he called, he also justified; those he justified, he also glorified." You were called before you knew your name. The challenges that sought to silence you were actually confirmations of that calling. Now, your story becomes a beacon, a bridge for those still wandering in the fog of uncertainty. The same fire that once purified you now becomes the light guiding others home. The remnant is awakening, and its awakening cannot be contained in buildings or broadcasts. It happens quietly in the hearts of those who still believe in goodness, who still choose mercy over malice, who still speak peace into chaos. You are part of that divine uprising. You were born for this time, this moment, this sound. If these words find a home in you, let them settle softly, not as pressure, but as peace. You don't have to strive to belong, you already do. The very fact that your heart recognizes this language is proof. You are part of heaven's melody, tuned for purpose, refined for resonance. And if your spirit feels that gentle pull, the desire to stay connected to the river of words that remind you who you are, follow it naturally. To subscribe is not an act of following a page. It's like returning to a well that never runs dry. It's a promise to yourself. I will keep drinking from what keeps me alive. When something in this message sparks hope inside you, let that hope move. To like is to breathe acknowledgement into the air. It's not performance, it's participation. It says, I see the light in this, and it mirrors the light in me. And when your heart feels full, when you read something that touches a wound or heals, a fear to share becomes the most natural response. You are not promoting a message, you are passing a flame. Each share becomes a lantern sent into someone else's night. Somewhere, another soul waiting in silence will find these same words and know they are not alone. Finally, if you feel the nudge to speak, let your voice join the harmony. Comment, I rise now, not as duty, but as devotion. Those 3 words become a soft anthem of surrender and strength, a public whisper that says, I will no longer hide my light. I am part of the awakening. There is no command here, only invitation. The remnant is not recruited, it's revealed. The ones who recognize this call already belong. You are one of them, a torchbearer in an age of shadows. So, as you breathe these final words, feel their weight in your chest. The sound of awakening grows louder, carried through hearts like yours. The chosen are rising not for fame, but for faith. Not for power, but for purpose. Not to dominate, but to illuminate. And somewhere in the unseen, heaven smiles. The call has been answered. The remnant has begun to sing again. The echo of I rise now drifts upward like incense, a fragrance of surrender wrapped in courage. Heaven receives it not as noise but as melody, a declaration that the sleeping embers of faith have awakened and found their flame again within you. As your spirit whispers, I rise now, light moves outward in ripples. Every word becomes a torch passed through eternity's hands, igniting hearts you may never meet. You have joined the song of the awakened, and its harmony will never fade. The day you've been sensing has arrived. December 12 is here, not as an ordinary sunrise, but as a divine threshold. You stand before the prophetic door, and all of heaven stands with you. This is the crossing moment, the divine exchange point where what was burdensome becomes blessed, where endings melt into beginnings. You can feel it before you see it, the atmosphere itself shifting, like air clearing after rain. The heaviness you once carried begins to lift. The noise of confusion softens, replaced by an inexplicable calm. It is not the calm of emptiness, but of arrival. The deep peace that whispers, you've made it to the other side. You have walked through darkness and kept your faith alive. You have stood when your legs trembled and believed when logic mocked you. And now, heaven rewards endurance with revelation. The long night is over. The dawn has broken, and light spills across the path ahead. The door stands open before you, not polished or ornate, but ancient and luminous, alive with memory. This is not the kind of door built by hands, it's the one formed through surrender. Every moment you chose, obedience became a hinge. Every tear became a drop of sacred oil, greasing its movement. Now, it swings wide with grace. As written in the book of Psalms, chapter 24, verse 7, lift up your heads, O gates, and be lifted up, you ancient doors, that the King of glory may come in. This is that verse made real in your life. The King of glory enters not just into places, but into people, and today, he enters through you. You are no longer the weary traveler waiting outside the gate. You are the living door through which heaven flows into the earth. Step through slowly. Feel the shift. The threshold hums beneath your feet with recognition, as if creation itself knows your name. Everything around you, the wind, the light, the silence bows to the moment. For the first time in a long time, you are not striving. You are simply being carried by grace. Behind you lies what was necessary but no longer required. The weight of old expectations falls away. The voices that once accused you fade into distance. Before you stretches peace, not the fragile kind that depends on circumstance, but the deep-rooted stillness that survives any storm. You have been reshaped, refined, and readied for this. Crossing through the prophetic door means more than entering blessing. It means stepping into identity. You are no longer defined by survival, you are defined by purpose. You are not merely escaping the past, you are embodying the promise. Every cell in your being feels the resonance of fulfillment. Heaven doesn't just open doors for you, it opens them through you. You carry the same authority that unlocked this threshold. Everywhere you go, new spaces will yield to your presence. You will sense it in conversations that suddenly shift, in atmospheres that soften when you enter, in divine timing that clicks into place without effort. The beauty of this moment is its quietness. The greatest miracles rarely arrive with applause. They come wrapped in peace, cloaked in subtlety, marked by transformation that only the Spirit can perceive. People may look at you and see the same person, but you will know you are walking differently now. Every inhale feels like worship, every exhale like release. The tension of waiting dissolves, replaced by the rhythm of flow. This is not the end of your story, it's the unfolding of its truest chapter. What begins today will not fade, it will deepen. The door behind you will not close, for heaven never rescinds what it opens. In the coming days, you will notice confirmations small, sacred signs that heaven keeps its word. Opportunities will align with divine ease. Encounters will feel orchestrated. Even your thoughts will begin to harmonize with heaven's tone. You will speak and see results, not because you are forcing change, but because you are walking in agreement with purpose. Take a moment to breathe this in. Feel gratitude rise quietly, not as a celebration of noise, but as reverence for the journey that brought you here. The battles were not in vain, they were the price of your passage. Every hardship built the bridge that now carries you forward. When you look back, and you will do not see loss, see architecture. See how every broken piece became part of the path. See how every delay became a teacher. Nothing was wasted. Not a moment, not a tear, not a single whispered prayer. And now, on this day, heaven appointed long before you understood its meaning, the door has opened. You have crossed. You are through. You are free. The light beyond the threshold does not blind you, it embraces you. And in its warmth, you finally understand this is not reward, this is restoration. You were never just walking to this door, you were walking into yourself. The light beyond the door is not sharp or blinding, it's gentle, living, vast. It wraps around you like breath made visible. Everything feels still yet alive, as if creation itself is waiting to see how you will step into this new becoming. The world is the same, but you are not. You stand taller, your spirit clearer, your heart steady. The ache that once accompanied every sunrise has dissolved into peace. You have crossed the prophetic threshold. And now you walk as one who has been delivered, not from circumstance, but from the weight of who you no longer need to be. The battle for identity is over. The striving has ceased. You no longer live for approval, you live from alignment. Your soul hums with the rhythm of purpose. And every step you take carries quiet authority. What lies ahead is not a continuation of the old story, but the birth of a new one. The wilderness has done its work. The season of wandering is complete. You are stepping into a land called certainty, not the certainty of control, but of conviction. You know who holds your days now, and that knowing is unshakable. As revealed in the book of Philippians, chapter 1, verse 6, being confident of this very thing, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. This is the truth that anchors you. The one who began your journey has not grown weary. The same voice that called you from obscurity continues to speak over your life. What began as promise has matured into partnership. You and heaven now move as one co-laborers in the unfolding of destiny. You begin to notice the difference in your movements. You no longer rush. You no longer grasp. You no longer fear missing what is meant for you. Peace becomes your compass, gratitude, your pace. You understand now that abundance is not what you chase, it's what you attract by being aligned. The world senses that stillness in you, and without effort, opportunities respond. This new way of living is not loud. It's marked by quiet confidence. You don't need to prove your worth, you simply embody it. The same hands that once trembled in uncertainty now create with boldness. You make decisions not from desperation, but from discernment. The wisdom born of waiting now guides your steps like light on a calm sea. Even your scars feel different. They no longer sting, they shine. They remind you of the cost, but also of the miracle that you are still here, still believing, still radiant. You wear them not as marks of pain, but as symbols of promise. Every scar testifies I lived, I learned, I became. The relationships around you begin to shift too. People who resonate with your peace are drawn near. Those who no longer align quietly fade away. There is no drama in their leaving, only release. You understand now that not everyone was meant to journey through every chapter. The new season requires new voices, new companions, new rhythms of grace. And with every sunrise, gratitude becomes more natural. You start to thank God not only for what has come, but also for what has gone. You realize that both were necessary, the blessings to lift you and the losses to shape you. Both brought you here. Both made you whole. You will walk now not in survival but in stewardship. The pain you once carried becomes the wisdom you now share. The peace you found becomes the refuge you offer. The anointing that felt heavy in waiting becomes light in purpose. You are not just free, you are fruitful. Every step you take leaves a trace of heaven behind. In this new season, you become a living reminder that deliverance is not escape, it's transformation. The same world that once exhausted you now feels sacred. You see divinity in the ordinary, eternity in each breath. The presence of God is no longer something you reach for, it's something you recognize. Everywhere, always. And as you walk forward, heaven walks with you. The journey continues, not as striving, but as flow. You move in rhythm with divine timing, your heart resting in the truth that nothing can separate you from what's been ordained. The prophetic door was not just a passage, It was a mirror. It revealed what heaven always knew: you were never broken beyond repair. Now, you live as the delivered calm, radiant, unstoppable. The light you carry no longer flickers, it burns steady, guiding others as you once longed to be guided. You are both witness and waymaker, both healed and healer. This is what it means to be chosen, not perfection, but presence, not arrival, but alignment. You are no longer searching for where you belong. You have become the place where heaven rests. And as the final echo of this journey fades, one truth remains carved into eternity. You are living proof that every ending in God's time is a beginning in disguise. The journey you've just walked through was never meant to end with silence. It was meant to end with awakening. You felt the shift, haven't you? That quiet realization that something deep inside you has been restored, that the pieces of your story now fit with divine precision. You are no longer reaching for the light, you have become it. There's a softness to this ending, a sacred calm that invites you to linger. If these words have touched you, let that resonance move freely. To like is to breathe acknowledgement, to say, "This light found me, and I recognize it." It's not performance, it's reflection, a gentle agreement that something sacred has stirred. If your heart feels stirred to pass this on, to share becomes an act of compassion. Think of it as placing a lantern on a path for someone still walking in the dark. You aren't spreading content, you're spreading comfort. A single gesture can carry hope further than you imagine. Sometimes the smallest click becomes the spark that reignites a weary soul. And if you feel a quiet pull to remain connected, to subscribe is more than staying updated. It's choosing to return to the well that quenches your spirit. It's a way of saying, "I want to keep walking where light gathers." The connection you make here is not digital, it's spiritual. Finally, let your heart respond however it needs to. Maybe you whisper gratitude. Maybe you comment something simple, something sincere, perhaps. "I am still becoming." Because truthfully, we all are. This isn't just the end of a script, it's the continuation of your awakening. The world needs the light you now carry. Go. Shine softly, but shine completely.